Alrighty, I hit that button, and we're live. We're live, guys. Back after a few days of working really hard. I'm excited to go into another series in the double elimination stage, the very first round of it. Our number 4 seed tonight, Skady, or Skady, I'm really not sure what you're supposed to call it, is playing versus Brickhead, the 5th seed. Skady, so far, looking at these things throughout the tournament, is undefeated. He has not lost, and in fact, in the round of 16, played really well against Gold Lion. I remember, if you remember, I remember. I streamed those games, and Gold Lion had some chances in a couple of those games, but a couple key mistakes. Skady capitalized like any good player would do, and ended up winning. Brickhead, on the other hand, also a pretty easy run of things so far. He only has just one individual game loss. But again, just like Skady in the round of 16, played really well against his opponent Odin King and swept him 3-0. And now they meet in the first round of the double elimination in the, let's not forget, the Gregg Open 1v1 tournament. So the loser is not actually out. Because it's the double elimination part. But obviously, you don't want to lose because then you pretty close to getting eliminated, thrown out of the tournament. But so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got a nice set of land maps on this series. Actually, it's all land maps: Tundra, Painted Desert, Marsh, new map, Fields of Punishment, and then Alfheim. Provided we get that far, it's a best of 5. First to 3 wins the match here. Skady can generally play Aranos, Zeus, are probably his 2 main ones. He's played some Egyptian and stuff in the past. Brickhead primarily does Norse. I think lately he's been doing Odin. So we'll see. We'll see what he does here. I know he'd love to see some Odin versus Aranos, but I doubt Skady will show that. I think Skady will probably do a Zeus. I think Zeus plays really well against Odin here on these maps. So we'll see. Do you know if anyone has streamed Skady versus Player? I'm not really sure about that. We'll let you know. We'll find out. But we'll be going into this series here. And we'll find out. So Skady versus Brickhead. Zeus versus Odin, probably. But let's get going, because it's a little bit late for me, and I like my sleep, though I probably don't get enough. But I like my sleep. So let's see, what are we looking at here? Turning game, Skady versus Brickhead. We are ready to go here into, let's make sure I know where these games are. Here we are. Game number 1 will be, hey, I was right, Zeus versus Odin on Tundra. Okay, alright. So, a lot of people, I think I agree with this, say that Norse v Zeus games are the most exciting, and I think for the most part, I agree with that. No, Madara, I haven't. I'll be doing those this week. I don't know the results, so no spoilers in the chat, please. If you recall from my last, I think it was my most recent game stream, we did a Hell's Ravage versus Player, Odin versus Zeus, and that was a really fun game to watch. So we'll see if we get that again tonight. So yeah, we've got our Odin player, Brickhead, in the red. We've got Skady, our Zeus player, in the blue. And we got, oh wow, look at this. 4 Aurochs. Tasty. And these will be Brickhead's 4 Aurochs as well. So that bracket is, Madara, the one that I've streamed up through. So I think I've got that up to date for me. But yeah, here he comes going to these. Oh, watch out that you don't get your Ulsart killed. There you go. Guess he's Odin, so he'll just regen back up anyway. But he's saving his back hunt. I've been touching on this in most games. This is pretty standard. Your player that might feel like he might get pushed in will generally get to forward hunt first. That way he has all this nice, tasty, safe hunt to fall back to. So that's pretty standard that we see here. Skady probably doesn't have to worry about it so much because he's Zeus, and generally Zeus is on the offensive with the 2 super strong early heroes. But in the last game when we saw player versus Brickhead, it was, I think, primarily Toxody Hoplite. Yeah, it was. Against raiding cavalry throwing axemen, is what we saw the last game. And I think we might, I mean, you can kind of go two ways here as a Zeus. You could do your typical Athena, Hoplite, Toxody stuff. You can also go up with Hermes and go with the Centaur Rush. And Odin, because he doesn't get Forseti, which allows for Hersia to run faster, can sometimes struggle against centaurs, especially Zeus centaurs, because Zeus gets the favor bonus and will have more centaurs out faster. Here he goes to his forward hunt. So you can almost play it either way in this situation, which so far in this tournament we've seen most of the Zeus players going Athena in this spot. So we'll probably see Athena, but it would sure be nice to switch things up a little bit. Maybe see a Hermes, but we'll find out. Alright, we've got this one relic here, the blue crystal shard, which is okay, but there's a few issues. It improves gather rate for wood and gold, but isn't as good as it looks because it has some bugs as far as gather rates, so it's actually not 5%. It's typically closer to 2 or 1. We got these ravens coming forward. We've got, what is his age up time? He's 20% up, so we'll be about a 415 as opposed to a very late age up for our Zeus. Probably about a closer to a 445, 450, probably. He's getting quite a few on wood here. And will he keep the 2 praying? Will we see a Hermes? We will. All right. We will see a Hermes. I can get behind this. Ooh, plus 100% damage versus myth units. And Brickhead did scout that relic, so I would think he would make a beeline with his Hersier right towards that relic. We do have Skady is going to scout it. Yes, Skady knows it's there too. Yeah, here comes the Hersier. That'll be good, because so the slow Hersier trying to fight the fast Centaur, typically the problem is getting your attacks in, so getting this plus 100% damage will kind of help out. You know, those few attacks will be that much stronger. Catalyst Event wants to know who is favored. I would say Skady's favored, because Skady can play more gods better than Brickhead. So Skady can kind of counterpick in a way. Like, I'd say Zeus overall is a really good choice against Odin. So I think Skady, and I'd say maybe Skady, I think like overall when you consider like skill, they're probably pretty similar, but I think Skady being able to play different gods, i.e. Zeus in this situation, will make him favored. And Skady's been playing really well lately too, and I mean he's always a good player, but he's pretty good. So yeah, here's our first Centaur. So we'll see a second Centaur, or actually he's getting the Centaur upgrade first, which is really big. So it gives plus 25% Centaur hit points, which that's all cool. But the big thing is the plus 30% Centaur movement speed, which makes them so fast. We'll get the exact number here. So they go from 5 speed to 6.5, and that is fast. That's like the Usain Bolt of ancient mythology right there. And Brickhead coming down to this hunt and losing a raiding cavalry here. And here comes these slow, like, it's just so hard for Odin to deal with this. Oh wow. Took a little bit extra damage there. But we'll see. Yep, here comes another Centaur, and we'll have hoplites, it looks like. Hoplites, double hoplites, along with 2 heroes. So he's pushed Skady back into mostly his base. I mean, there's no No Billy's hunting at all. But here's the problem. Like, these centaurs with their special shot have 100% accuracy. So you raid with just like 2 units, and the centaurs can just come in and slam them. So it's actually pretty... Unless you're raiding with a ton of units, and I don't lose them, which actually... He hasn't lost this raiding cavalry, but here come these centaurs. Oh, and then they'll get just their free shot. Pick off that raiding cavalry. That's really good. And not even take any damage. So centaurs really benefit from good control. Like if you screw up your centaurs and they all die, you're basically, your strategy is doomed and it looks awful. But if you've got really good unit control and can manage your eco at the same time, this is a little bit of a poor gold mine here though. But if you can manage that all at the same time, you'll be doing really well. And I'd actually like to see a little bit of walling from Brickhead on the corner here. He's gonna lose, yeah, lose a Villy, and probably should have thought ahead to wall. I mean, he's walled this off, but this is an important little choke point, or not really a choke point, but important little path here, especially if he wants to eat that Aurochs there. And trying to get the oh no. And then here comes, we got our heroes, our hoplites, another centaur, and they're about even in. And this is, ooh, Brickhead should probably just stay defensive here. I'm surprised. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say I'd be a little bit surprised to see him go to that hunt. He's still got his hunt in his base and doesn't want to lose his Herseer. These Herseers, they're expensive dudes, costing 80 food and 40 gold. That's not cheap. That food cost is big, and oh, losing other raiding cavalry there for nothing. Here come the towers to try to deal with some of these hoplites, I feel like. No restoration. Could almost use some throwing axemen here. Are you gonna have a raid on this? Oh, look, there's some low HP Villies. Will Skady notice? Oh, he noticed just in time. Might lose one Villy there. Oh, come on. He could have picked off a Vill. Oh, he's just going to the wood line. Oh, they're a little too quick too. And so now here comes the bad part, where he hasn't killed any units, and now he's gonna have these centaurs doing their special shot, which means now they'll pick off units, and it's rough. Oh, here comes a little. Okay, all right. This is a nice forest fire here. 2 Vills, 3, 4 Vills. That's good. Now Brickhead doesn't want to fight this though. Don't fight this. There you go. That's good. Okay. Losing a few units, but nothing too crazy. Then just needs to get out of here. Try to heal up his raiding cavalry. Really, what you kind of have to do, in my opinion, big asterisk there, is in this situation as the Odin, you want to avoid any like full-on fights for the most part, because you'll have a hard time winning them. You want to keep the Zeus back based on rating, and then try to age up before you have to fight that big fight. And like here, picking off more units, and like we're getting to this point where the 5, 6 centaurs with the hoplites in front are going to be so hard. And now we're here comes the tough part, is transitioning to that second gold mine on a map like Tundra that's wide open. So Brickhead is going to age up with what he has, and that's pretty risky, because as soon as he hits the age up button, he is going to have 70 gold now in the bank. 33 actually. So he's not going to have any more units. So he's aging up with Frost, because that'll allow him to use Frost on the army and then mine during that time, and hopefully get enough eco to produce an army at that time. He also gets, well, the Frost Giant will get bolted, right? Yeah, it will. So Brickhead 50%. I was gonna say you could almost see an all-in on the town center here. I don't think it would go well. Yeah, he's gonna fall back. And Villies, oh, here comes some Villies forward. There's some here too. These are the almost, oh, this is not, oh, it's like running into a trap. And, oh, Brickhead's losing quite a few units before this big fight is coming. How much is he? He's up 9. Okay, he's going to use Frost now. Alright, so there's Frost. I just don't know if he's going to have enough of an army after. 110 popped to 90. I mean, this Frost Giant will just get bolted right away. He's also going to be housed. Like, once he gets this gold in. Because he's missing 2 houses. Be nice to, like, send a few of these units. Yep, the bolts got used on the Frost Giant. Be nice to use a few of these raiders to come get some. Oh, come on, Polar Bear, get him! Yes! I love it! Always love that. Oh, the Polar Bear almost got 2. Look at him go. This ox cart is making the Villies get exercise. So here's going to come the moment of truth here. The moment of truth. The Herseer on the... Okay, this Herseer's doing some work. Soaking up a ton of damage. Doing a ton of damage. What is Skady doing, though? Not aging up. Brickhead's kind of fighting back. Like, he's only got 2 Herseer, though. As soon as the Toxotes focus on the Herseer, Brickhead's going to have a hard time getting at all these Centaurs. I mean, okay, here comes another Frost Giant. Oh, that one is so close to dying, and... Zeus just needs to push forward. Losing throwing axemen on the way back. Brickhead has resources, but is primarily just doing throwing axemen, and now we've looking a little shaky. Gotta kill this. Okay, so only one here. Oh, but look at the centaurs here. Oh, get him. Okay, there you go. Alright, get another special with your Frost Giant. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so Odysseus is dead. Where's the next hero? No hero coming yet. So these Frost Giants will do a lot of work, and we see that their specials killing quite a few. Frost Giant down. When's the next hero coming out? Okay, Jason's coming. There's just so few army other than the Frost Giants, though. Don't want to lose him. Brickhead would really like to have a hill fort, but I just don't think he's been able to afford to build it. Yeah, and like he has almost no military pop. Look at all these villas. Like as soon as Jason gets here, and now Odysseus, like the Frost Giants are like the only strength of this army. Like, I mean, there's almost no army other than this. And the Frost Giants will look good for a bit, and he's upgraded them. We got the... What does this upgrade do anyway? Plus 198 hit points. That's pretty significant considering their armor. 55% and 69. And then we've got 3.6 more hack damage. So they'll tank a ton of damage and they'll do a lot, but you don't want it like this where this guy's taking on Jason. We've got Odysseus here. A lot of Vils though got picked off. And Odysseus just never dies. Ever. Dude lives forever. 352 hit points. So strong. 275 and one Frost Giant left. I don't think Brickhead will be able to hold after this because he just has no army. 89 popped to 52. Yeah. Rough gold mine spots, but that's Tundra for you. I have a hard time getting on the gold mines. And what you have to be able to do in these situations as your Norse, try to get some of them. I mean, there's some villies that are out there that can be attacked, but it's so hard when the Zeus is putting on the pressure. Like, it's hard to afford to send that raiding party. And I think Skady gonna check this gold mine. I am assuming he knows it's there. No, he doesn't. Doesn't know that gold mine's there, but he'll check it and he'll find it. Because I think he saw some of these vills come wandering up this way. But any good player will check the corners anyway. I mean, basically, you should play it as if you think you got your opponent gold blocked, but there's still black spot on the map, assume there's a gold mine there. And I think with these vills going down, I think that's it for Brickhead. He's going to try to come down here, and that'll be scouted out by the granary. And we've got one ox cart and one dwarf escaping. Raid or attempting a raid coming out. Hold here. How's Skady doing anyway? Full pop, getting plow. Brickhead just doesn't have much. I'd like to be able to get a hill for it. Unfortunately, Brickhead just didn't ever quite have the resources, and it's not going to be able to defend this gold mine either. Maybe we got these units coming in on the back end. The power of Zeus. Just really strong units. Really good at that second gold mine, gold starve. And that's what we saw here. A little bit of a different tactic than when we saw player playing against Hell's Ravage. Where player went Athena. We saw the centaur here, and they did a ton. I mean, they ended up dying to the frost giant, but before that, they just controlled everything to the point where by the time the frost giants came out, unfortunately, Brickhead was just a little too behind. So many Norse players. I wouldn't say so many. There's probably 3 or 4 main ones in the tournament. Norse are still kind of the minority, but it's good to see more of them for sure. And that's what I say anyway. We got a Valk coming in because of no eco. Odysseus says like 1 hit point. 12. Technically 12. Okay. Just finished off Odysseus though. This fight actually going decent for... I don't know why he's... Okay, well he's running away from Odysseus, who has 12 hit points. Now we got the Toxotes on the throwing axemen. Hoplites against the raiding cavalry. Overall, this fight, actually Brickhead fighting back a little bit. But these throwing axemen need to get on the hoplites here. Throwing at the centaur is a waste of their damage. You can see the resulting in a few more throwing or raiding cavalry than what needed to be. But so it looks great. Yeah, awesome. Brickhead won that fight. But he's still not gathering gold anywhere. So he can't afford to replenish his units like Skady can. And we see Skady's at 2 town centers and about to age up. And outside of this one lone dwarf that is snuck all the way up here, Brickhead has no gold mining at all anywhere. No gold mining, no god powers. Now a little bit of gold mining, but I think this army is big enough to defeat. Because we got the 3 centaurs here. They can pick off the Valk or whatever. Well, we'll retreat, I guess. Maybe waiting. What is he? Could be aging up soon, I think. Yeah, Brickhead's an old Norse player. He's been playing Norse for a long time. in the past hasn't made it to this part in the state in the tournament. Well, yeah, he has actually, but in the past, then the Norse would run up against Set, and then that's it for that. Set or Zeus, more so Set, used to just pummel, absolutely pummel the Norse. Alright, this little trade here I don't think will go well for Bricky. It might be the finality, which, I mean, I guess I thought the game would be over after that first loss by Brickhead earlier on, but it just nothing to do with the Centaurs. And there it is. That is GG. Right there. So Skady has picked up the first game of the series and played really well. Really good pressure, and that's what you got to do. As the Zeus, because if you don't get the pressure and you let the Odin or Norse player get up some raids and get that secure gold mine, it can be pretty tough, but really good pressure. Nice to see a little bit of a difference going up with the Hermes play. Economically pretty similar, but that gold here, that just not able to gather gold consistently. Kill death ratio is actually pretty close. I'd expect the Norse to be a little bit behind, but pretty close skill death ratio. But yeah, it's just that gold block. Civies too, just not, I mean, kept losing civies at the gold mines, so just not able to compare. But well played by Skady there. Let's update our scorecard here. Get our Odin player up to the top. There we go. Zeus up. Alright. Me up on stream. Yeah. And we'll get the win for Skady. So, since I spent the time to put these together, I figure I better, use them in my stream. So, there you go. But let's move on. Tourney game number 2. And what is this map? Well, we'll find out. It's another land map. Marsh, maybe? No, that's game 3. We'll find out. Game 2, Painted Desert. That's what it is. Painted Desert. So what is it? Zeus v Odin again? Yep, sure is. Will we see more of the same? Probably. We've got Skady up here on the top. He's the blue player, playing as Zeus. And on the bottom left is Brickhead, playing as Odin on Painted Desert. It is indeed more of the same. You've got pretty decent hunt on this map. The problem is protecting it. Can be a bit of a difficulty. So you can wall off here, not too bad. You got to wall off this little path through the forest though. And then maybe wall off this, and this pack is open, but it's not a huge hunting supply, actually. And we got a decent hunt pack here, but Brickhead is not using it. Brickhead went to his back hunt, which, well, I mean, that's pretty normal. But with there being a little bit less easily accessible hunt here, I feel like this is an even worse map for Brickhead than the previous game. He does on this one have a back gold mine. Kind of back, but I mean it's mostly back to the side, but pretty well protected. So that'll be a little bit better for him, but I think early on you need the consistent hunt access. It's very important. And if Odin can't get that, which might have a little bit of trouble doing so, can kind of fail. I got these villies are going to wander through these two lions here. Oh, no, they'll come up here. Well, one lion will come up and... No, he'll turn around. There you go, Simba. Oh, what kind of relics we got? Well, you know what, I like keeping the Fog of War on. Boots that kick everything. Plus 10% hero movement speed. So... that's another one that Brickhead would like to get. Oh, those slow Odin Herseer move a little bit faster. You're pretty much caught up. Thanks for all the vids with Boy. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, trying to do dual casts when we can. I think Boyd streams these games live, so what's the point of him casting them again? But yeah, between the two of us, and Boyd is, with how many he has, he's a little bit behind as far as uploading. But he's got a lot to upload, and I just upload as I stream. Minus 25% myth unit training time. Those get those centaurs out a little faster. But thanks for the good words. Appreciate it. It is nice to get compliments. Even if it is from somebody over the internet. It's still, you know what? Still important. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. So, nice storehouse here. This is better than the last game. And Brickhead's did a good job getting this ox cart to come out as soon as these vills cut that tree down. I like that too. Could maybe maneuver this ox cart a little bit better, but that's okay. Aging up is about the same time as last game, so it looks like Brickhead at least is opening up the same. Skady is maybe up a little bit quicker. I think he was about a 445. Oh, he's up Athena now. Okay, alright. So I thought we'd see more centaurs again, but Athena. So, which works very well too. We're pretty much best friends. Yeah, we are. Pretty much. So the Athena push. Alrighty. So you'll have that big restoration push on a gold mine, probably. We actually do have... Skady could potentially push on this gold mine. It's very forward. Kind of in between the towers. Is this format loser picks map, or is it a set order? It's a set order ahead of time. So we'll pause real quick. So kind of one of the features of this tournament that we selected to make it different was that each individual match, every player match, has their own randomized set of maps that are all declared like a week ahead of time. So you'd have Brickhead versus Skady playing on one randomized set of maps, and then you'd have player versus Hell's Ravage playing on a different set of pre-randomized maps. So, and then it's blind pick going into the game. So players are allowed free choice, whatever god they want, blind pick so the other opponent doesn't know, but they know the map's coming in. Would I say this is the best Norse map because it's so open? No, I wouldn't. The openness does help because closed maps do suck for Norse generally, but when Norse is facing an aggressive opponent, what is actually more important is that the Norse have defensible hunts and gold mines. And we've got the double military barracks, archery range. So what's important here is the openness really doesn't matter to the Odin so much here. I'll get on that. There you go. Okay, forest fire, not getting a ton of value, but you know, maybe probably went Athena because of the smaller forests here. Actually, is why we went Athena, because Painted Desert does have very little forest around the main base. But yeah, when you look at the main gold mine, which is okay. You could wall this off and it'd be alright. You look at the hunt, the side hunt's pretty decent too. Far out, so especially here, I don't think Brickhead should have gone to this hunt next. Bolt, what was Bolt used on? Okay, the Valk. Because here's what Brickhead's going to have a problem, is when he's done hunting from this hunt group, where is he going to go for his next hunt? He's got to go all the way over to here, which I don't think he'll actually be able to. But now we've got a little bit of a push to counter push. Now from Skady. Brickhead probably doesn't really want to fight this. He might force out a restoration if he can get this Okay, got the... Brickhead should fall back now, though. This isn't a good fight for him to take. Because these heroes just tank so long. And now comes the restoration. And yeah, what we're going to see here is the heavy push on the gold mine. And I feel like Brickhead, after he killed the Minotaur, should have gone back right away. Good to get that seat, that oh, gotta protect your units too, though. You don't want to lose units. Good to get that resto out. If they both go to Mythic Age, the Zeus would win in the long run. It just depends on how much of a power spike Brickhead would be able to get out of like a Rag. But here you've got the Valk, which is a very important unit here. Randomly healing, doesn't want to do that. But also doesn't want to die. You want to run her off before she dies. Okay, are we seeing any towers? No towers. Man, Brickhead is so close to like folding here under this pressure. I feel like Brickhead was kind of funneling his units the wrong way. I don't know why they were spawning out this way when they should have been back here. And yeah, this 4 gold mine is... Brickhead's gonna have a tough time, actually, getting on this. And this Valk is one shot away from being shot down by Odysseus, who luckily was shooting at the barracks instead. So we want to get these two, this Valk, to heal up the other one. But yeah, we've kind of got Brickhead having to fall back to this gold mine over here, and oh ho ho, Skady checking the corners. Brickhead knew it was coming because of the tower, but actually reacted pretty late. I mean, he would have seen these hoplites all the way up here, but oh, and always split off your ox guard. So it's got, this fat thing's got 2.9 speed, and this woman got 3.8. So the ox guard is slowing them down here, and actually doesn't end up losing a unit. Coming up here to all this hunt. Would like to see some more walls come out. I mean, Brickhead, well, I guess he was gold block. He's got 260 though. Would probably want a wall, and wall just to delay the army from coming, because Brickhead needs to buy time to get a bigger army out. Needs to buy a lot of time. Yeah, late game Mythic, the Zeus would win. The only way, I mean, it's kind of an uphill battle. Oh, watch out for your Valks. For the Odin. Because the Odin has to get a nice power surge and heroic to be able to be in that good position where a Ragnarok would win. And I gotta get these raiding cavalry in on these. Oh, Valk fighting. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, Brick just doesn't have the army. I feel like I could just come to... Yeah, I think Brickhead might have to call it here. Because I don't think he can fight this. And, well, I mean, he can fight it, but he can't win it. Really nice control by Skady here, just kind of not chasing and just parking right here. And then just transitioning and now shooting at the army when it shows up, and then shooting back here, and back and forth we go. And Brickhead still can't win the fight, and still can't quite gather resources, and now he's kind of coming in for a last gasp fight, and 93 popped to 65, and that's no big city mathematician, but those numbers don't look good for the Odin. Yeah, and that is, whew, GG, the Athena rush on the gold mine. And I kind of surprised that Brickhead didn't like defend this a little bit more. You know, just a wall here just to slow up that first initial push, because kind of the way it goes, at least from what I've seen, is that the Odin would get like the initial very early pressure with the Valk, which well then will get bolted though, but then a few extra, the Herseer came forward, a couple raiding cavalry came forward as well, but then once the Zeus gets that army, then the Zeus gets that counter pressure. And what I felt was that Brickhead kept fighting uphill battles right here, kept funneling units up here, which kind of kept dying one by one, where if he would have combined his army and just been a little bit more defensive, delayed a little bit longer, walled up, like Coldsar said, I mean, could have put a wall here, and then when this military building was here, could have walled right there too, and would have maybe been able to be a little better. I don't want to look at the kill death because I think it's not going to look good for Brickhead, but really well played by Skady. He had really good military control, which that's, to me, was what made the difference. But yeah, I mean, 36 killed to 15 lost, and it's just those few early battles. The Restoration will win a fight regardless. It was actually good to get that forced out at 617, but just kept funneling and losing units over and over, and you can't win a fight against Zeus behind, because the Zeus, or I mean even Greek, is kind of the slightly more expensive but stronger unit. So when you fall behind, you got to do some magical things to win, and it can be a tough matchup, the Odin versus Zeus. So Skady versus Brickhead. Okay, so let us move up. Got our next Zeus, our next Odin, and another win for Skady. So this is match point all of a sudden, really quickly. Match point on Marsh. So maybe see some things from the Norsemen here. So let's get back to our game, and we will go on to game number 3. So if Brickhead loses, he's not out of the tournament. Remember, this is the double elimination part of the tournament, so Brickhead can afford one loss and not get thrown out, but again, you really don't want to be on that bottom side of the bracket. But I mean, he's going to have to win 3 in a row, so here we are, game number 3 on Marsh, and we have on the bottom is, I'm seeing an Egyptian. It's Skady has gone Set. Set in the blue on the bottom. And then Odin in the red on the top. So Odin v Set. Another matchup that historically has been pretty tough for the Odin, just because of the early pressure the Set can put on. You got the Set forward, converting boar. That's pretty standard. Well, at least we'll see something different here. No more Zeus stomping on Odin. Maybe we'll see Set stomping on Odin, or maybe we'll see Set eliminating the Odin here. So the hyena coming across saw the Ulsark coming down, and we actually have Brickhead going with a double Ulsark start here. He's doing that in an attempt to stop the, alright, good job stopping the conversion there. Now he won't kill the priest, which that's okay. Actually, I wish I would have noticed that a little bit sooner to kind of showcase how it makes the build slightly different. Obviously, that slows you down a little bit, but is actually getting value out of it. Just doesn't want to lose this Skryling / Ulsark here. But I mean, so far it's costing Skady his 20% empowerment buff from the Pharaoh. This Ville's kind of idle and no conversion, so while it slows down the Norse age up and eco early on, he's doing just as much damage and more so on the back end. So really nicely done with the double Olsark. You normally don't see it on this map. Now is he gonna get himself popped though? Oh no, he already built a house, so no. He's much better than me. So why would he pop himself? Anvil of Hephaestus is over here that makes armory techs a little bit cheaper. We've got Gaia's Book of Hero that helps infantry do more damage to titans. It really is pretty awful. We've got the Bull of Artemis, minus 15% archer and troll cost. And we've got Sigma putting houses in the chat. He's a good man. The random house. So she's building the houses here. She's kind of the guardian of the priest, shall we say. Now she's coming back. Now that we've got that, we have a order even converted yet? Doesn't look like it. So one of the Odin buffs, or well, not buffs, but benefits is that he gets all of his units get a little bit of a regen. So slowly this unit will regenerate health. It regenerates faster when it's standing still. That was just reflexes the enter chat. Yeah, you come into my chat, I'm playing, you might as well just put the house icon down because chances are I'm housed. There is one more relic that we haven't scouted yet. What are we looking at in age up here though? Skady not too close to aging up. He needs a lot more food. Okay, these guys are idle. Yeah, yeah. This is a late advance for a set, actually. 5:15. See, Shelty probably doesn't know it's going to be that late, so he's going to be playing really passive, which that's the bad part of when you play against set, is that you just don't know what time the opponent is aging up at, and is the set doing the 4:30 or the slower 5:15? Oh, up with Anubis. Oh, that's different. Okay. Anubis to probably take advantage of, again, the Odin slow heroes, but only has one monument, but the Anubis, so oh, watch out for these two mean looking boar though, and they'll eat your Olsark up. But Anubis, cool. Serpents isn't a bad god power if you got a one spot that you really need to fight on. But that's pretty cool. Now, Skady, I mean, I guess he's got 4 hippo over here. Alright, here comes the Valk is gonna smoke these units. That's a lot of lost hunt for Skady here. Each boar is 225 food. And as use vision, this is just a scare tactic. I mean, he went up to with Anubis. Where's Skady gonna get his next hunt? Boy, if Shelty were to park over here, yeah, the serpents, in most situations, serpents aren't very respectable. But against on the throwing axeman, that's a spot where they're good. Now there is hunt here. He knows this hunt's been wandering in and out of line of sight, so there's some hippo there, just 2. Yeah, they've been in the hippo have been wandering in and out of line of sight there for a while. I don't know why he went over there though when he's got 4 here. Does he have that scouted? He does. Chose to go over there. It's Skady, okay, going classical fight. With just how this game is opened up, I really feel like the Odin should be in a good spot here. Because the Odin can do a couple different things. Maybe like a semi-quick town center grab into a decent boom, because this set train is not at the station yet, and not even really close to it. So Brickhead could afford to try to get a town center. Now the problem is this one really protects almost nothing. This one's a bit better. And he's going to come down here on this army. Does Brickhead know about that hunt? He might not, actually. Which it won't be there for much longer anyway. Like, what you need to do when you're fighting an Egyptian that's in classical age is you need to swap the fronts where stuff is going on, because these dudes are slow. Even the spearman, which is the fast unit, is only 5 speed. I mean, it's a bunch of slow units if you're classical age Egyptian. And Skady is not close to grabbing a town center. It's just making an army, which this is not standard, I would say, as a set. I mean, you don't see this very often. So this is actually, I know Egyptians get a lot of flack for the way they play, but I don't have a problem. I like the classical age fighting Egyptian, and I don't mean it by the classical age Egyptian that grabs 3 town centers and just sits next to it. I like this push. You don't see it. You very rarely see it these days. And Brickhead is saving up for heroic. I mean, he doesn't really know what's going on. I mean, guess he knows now. Oh, get on the Pharaoh, though. That's a good pick. If he can get that Pharaoh, it does a ton of damage. Yeah, there you go. I don't think the fast heroic here is the right choice. Because Norse can beat classical age Egyptian. I feel like if Brickhead were to play it more standard with a normal classical age army. Nice forest fire here. Kind of get in on some of these units. And a nice little fight here. Should fall back now, Brickhead should. You got the Villies idle. Oh, might pick off. Okay. But in the meantime, it's lost a few throwing axemen. And again, we're going to have maybe this issue where we had last game where the units just funneling in and getting killed. But some bad pathing by the Skady here. Oh, wow. Just eating up the damage. Ooh. Oh, and now we have Plague of Serpents, but we've got a couple Hearse here coming in. And it's kind of going to be a wasted god power, I feel like. I mean, you got this Valk here, which will kill everything. I don't know why she's running, though. Just keep fighting. Oh, don't run right into the Spearman, though, down here. Oh, no. No. Alright, so the Serpents are pretty much dead. They do almost no damage to Villies, too, so... Alright. Full military barracks. 1 town center. I like it. Oh, there's so many low Villies. Get her! Oh, he was so close to killing her. Oh. Alright, so how much? 100% up. So up. Now we have a Frost. Huh? That's it? Very peculiar Frost. It's very strange. I mean, it's forcing the Vills back, I guess, but I feel like that's such a strong god power, and you're wasting it on just a little bit of map control that you'd probably get anyway. Not sure I like that. Look at all these low hitch point Villies, though. A lot of. Where's Brickhead? Okay, so he's hunting, though. That's good. What kind of eco-text he's got? Okay. But now he just runs right back to the Spearman and is taking a pretty poor fight here. There you go. Needs to run. And holy cow, we actually might see like a gold starve. Skady is full pop and is not at a good spot here. And this raiding cavalry are getting caught. These guys are almost all like dead. And we're gonna have a full army on Brickhead here. And he has eco in the bank, but he only has 2 military buildings. And that's dangerous. The position Brickhead's in right now. Only having 2 military buildings. And now he's upgraded his Frost Giant, but the Frost Giant's dead. And I think Brick is almost got like a little overconfident here. I mean, you wouldn't normally expect to have a classical age Egyptian pushing like this. Brickhead is being forced to build a market now, and he's gonna have to sell food in order to get gold. I think Brick's badly miscalculated here. Like, I don't even know if the age 3 was a good idea anyway. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I know that's kind of standard play these days for Norse. But only having 2 military buildings and using Frost the way he did just to get a little bit of temporary map control, that was big. The Frost... The use of the Frost, I feel like, is what has caused this. And well done by Skady to take advantage. I mean, again, how often do you see an age 2 Egyptian doing a gold starve? You just don't see that these days anymore. It doesn't happen. I just got so many vills over here idle. I think he probably sold a ton of... Yeah, Brickhead sold a ton of gold, or sold a ton of food to get gold. And now we have Skady up, heroic, as well with ancestors. And Brickhead still has absolutely no access to gold. We'll probably force out ancestors here. Try to get in on these heroes so that the Frost Giant lives forever. You want to get this Pharaoh down. Oh, one more shot. Okay. So the Pharaoh's down. But we still got so many minions here. And the raid on the Villies. Ooh, we do have a Frost Giant up there too, but just one Frost Giant and all these all these spearmen. And actually this one Frost Giant would like massacre all these spearmen. Frost Giant are so strong. Funeral rites, we got funeral rites coming. Maybe, maybe not, sometime. Comes a Scorpion Man. Brickhead's still not gathering gold. 109 popped to 70. Brickhead has just sold so many resources at the market. He's gonna have to fall back again and will not have any hunting anymore. I just think that Brickhead just could have, would have, should have played this so much differently. Because given his start and what he did to the set, a good spot. But I feel like his just his overall decisions after the classical age just weren't right. Nice raid down here on the Villies. But, I mean, this is so much more important than what this is doing. Because Brick is still gold starved, losing Villies. I mean, he's losing just as many Villies as Skady is, anyway. That one priest is almost dead. See how long he's upgraded Frost Giants are, and that's it. GG. Wow. 3 Oh, well played by Skady. Oh my. I mean, they would like to say the games were like pretty close, but not really. I mean, Skady kind of pretty pretty solid wins in all three games. Wow, well played by Skady. And I think Brickhead had chances. This game he had the best chance of any of them, and I just think he kind of threw away his early advantage just with just some generalized poor decisions for the strategy. Now, again, easy to say that watching. So, when you're playing, there's mistakes happen, bad choices happen. That's why it's a real-time strategy game. That's what happens in real-time strategy games. Is the pressure makes you make mistakes, makes you make bad choices, and probably what we saw here. I mean, you have to understand Brickhead's two games down in this series, so there's a little bit of pressure to play well, and sometimes that pressure can make you not play well. And yeah, Skady has still not lost a game up through now the first round of the double elimination, and this was really well played. I don't. I mean, one thing I will say, I said it a couple times, is you just don't expect to be gold starved by a classical age Egyptian. This is so rare what we saw Skady do and what Skady did really well. Like this is like old time, like Egyptian play outside of Isis and Ra. Like this is old time classical age Egyptian fight, which used to happen even in the Titans, like early on outside of the Isis fast heroic. You used to see a good amount of this, and it's fun to watch. You don't see it very often now. And it's pretty cool. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So Brickhead, better eco, that's normal for him. Uh, 57 kill loss ratio. He should be ahead because the Egyptian units are. I mean, actually, for it being this close, he's actually a lot of his kills are animals. So actually, units killed is not so red hot for him. Actually. Because he's killing animals and he's also killing weaker barracks units that are so cheap. So, well played by Skady. Skady versus Brickhead. Let's update our scorecard here. Set. And then Odin. So a 3-0 sweepy of the series. And the question from the YouTube, I don't know, man. I haven't even seen those games. So, hope you're just throwing me off, huh? So, anyway, well, that is that series. So, whew-wee, that is not the way Brickhead wanted. So that is my last. This is my last of the double elimination games for you guys. So, I mean, not the last. Last of the first round. So I've now done these 4 games. We'll be moving on later this week. Probably tomorrow night I'll do the I'll probably have another stream tomorrow night. And I'll do one of the next rounds of the tournament. So yeah, there's three of the next round games or matches have been done. There's one match that had to be delayed because Hell's Ravage was gone, so that's delayed till this weekend, I think. Which I hope they'll be able to catch up just to make this tournament go, not fall behind at all. So we'll have some games later this tomorrow night, about this same well, a couple hours earlier than this. Tomorrow night we'll be doing. I'm planning. That's always key. Planning on it again. This about the same time tomorrow, only a little bit earlier. But you got family and kids. Sometimes things happen, but that's what I'm looking forward to. But anyway, I better go to bed. up early for work. It's I got the next couple of days off. So thanks all for watching. Appreciate it. Those tuning in, watching these games, and hope to see some of you guys tomorrow night, hopefully, for some more games. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome, hanging out with me on the internet cyberspace, and I'll catch you guys later. So I'll wave with both hands because I'm cool like that. You know, who does a two-handed wave these days? I do. Bye. Have a good night, guys.